Hi, it's me, Mila Rose, and welcome to our video. What are we going to do today, y'all? What are we going to talk about today? Today, we are going to take a look at Pisces general reading, month of November. Let's see what's coming up for you all. Let's see what we've got coming down the pipeline, okay? I'm excited about this. I haven't done a reading for my YouTube channel in forever. I have been doing readings in person. You can book me online. My link is in the description. We're just going to see what we get coming up. Okay, main topic. It is our Ace of Pentacles, y'all. Okay. I know a lot of y'all have been working on projects. I know a lot of y'all have been doing starting new ventures, have been looking at your business, looking at your monies. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to go with this? I don't even know what kind of reading I want to do. I'm just pulling out cards. We got the Hermit, and then we got the Three of Chalices. I'm just going to pull these out. All right, so it looks like we're going to be spending some time to ourselves, but it's getting colder, y'all. It's getting colder anyway. We've got some inner work to do. A Five of Swords. We've got some introspection to do. So it's like this nice combination of like taking time to ourselves, learning, growing, and then going out and also spending time with our loved ones. Like what a nice combination, and how nice and balanced that is. Five of Swords, we might be feeling like we're in competition though. Why are we in competition? Look at the Ace of Swords and the Two of Wands there. Okay. One, because we've had to change the way that we think about things, and this might be related to that Ace of Pentacles. And we're also looking to expand. We're looking to really like find our space, find our place. And if there's other people that are in that realm, if there's other people that work in that field, yeah, we might be feeling some competition. But here's the thing, like, how many things? Yeah, Five of Pentacles, for more about the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely feeling a little out of the cold, left out in the cold when it comes to this new venture we've been working on. The Hierophant. Oh, okay. Now we're getting some stories here. All right, the Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. Ooh, okay. So Ace of Pentacles, right? Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. Like we might have needed some help. We might need some help. We're not sure who to go to for that. And we're feeling like we're just not getting the support we need. And look at that, 2 5s, Five of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and then 10. So we're going from like 1 halfway through all the way through, like the completion of the cycle, the completion of that energy. And it's a full scale for the Pentacles. We go Ace of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. So like we're going through in the month of November, the full scale of what's going to happen, like in a pentacle experience, in that lived material, tangible experience. Oh, I do have this. I could use my wand. Oh, y'all can't see the tens. Let me move this up. It's still not as far up as I would like for it to be. Hold on. I want to move these around so that I can get this. I don't want that to lose. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Great. Now y'all can see everything. Okay. And I have my little wand. I got this at Bewitched Denton. So if you live in Denton, Texas, or you live in the DFW area, I do readings there every Thursday and Saturday. So you can go get a reading from me in person, but you can also get like really fun, witchy, spiritual stuff. Just cutesy things. So, all right. So we're starting with that Five of Pentacles, right? We start with the Ace, something new, something tangible. Working on creating this new space for ourselves. It might be a new business, a new project, feeling left out in the cold, feeling like we're not getting, perhaps we have to deal with like a middleman, someone who is maybe helping us file paperwork, a lawyer, someone who is just kind of that person who's delivering or translating information from us into another space. The Hierophant is the masculine version of the High Priestess. And so where the High Priestess is doing that internal work and is putting into conversation the conscious and the unconscious. The Hierophant, on the other hand, is putting into conversation and translating the language from spirit to man. And so in this case, we may be the Hierophant. So we may be part of your business, and part of what, might have needed some assistance with and support in is how to translate the calling that you've had into something that's tangible, that could be manifested or created here in this world, in this space. But it also can be those barriers that we reach, or those individuals that we need assistance from in order to meet guidelines and restrictions or requirements for our business and our things to function. Part of what's going on here is we have this train, like I said, from the 5 to the 10, is we've been really focusing on and thinking about our legacy. What are we building long term? You know what I just realized? Okay, good. No. Oh, yes. I was like, oh no, I thought that I wasn't using my mic. Okay. What are we building long term? What is it that we're leaving behind? What is it that will be associated with our name? We're thinking long term. We're thinking investment in our life and in our community and in each other. And we're trying to get from this space of starting something very new that will build towards our legacy. But we're going through and we're hitting kind of all these pieces about what it takes to get there. And then we have the 10 of Swords, the end of the stress. So this is a really nice juxtaposition here between that 5 of Pentacles and that 10 of Swords, because that 5 of Pentacles is saying that, like, yeah, we've needed help. We felt out in the cold. We felt like we've needed assistance, and we haven't been getting the support that we wanted to, whether that be materially or from socially, from the people who, like, we're trying to build this kingdom for. Maybe we're feeling like we're not getting the support from them. Maybe we feel like we're not getting support from local government or small business, or something like that, but it's the end of the stress, and we're coming to this moment of this end of stress related to starting this new thing in this next month, in the month of November. But like, it will be a little bit of work to get there. And part of what we'll also be experiencing is this sorry, y'all, I was doing ritual work, is this Hermit, and coming within, getting quiet, getting clear on what it is that we want and what it is that we desire, what that looks like for ourselves, and taking that time away and making sure that we are taking care of ourselves. Look, this individual, they're in the bath, and although they're still reading and they're still learning, they're in the bath, they're relaxing. Also, I'm thinking of doing like a small batch of my bath salts that I make. I haven't made them in a while, but I'm thinking of doing that in order to help facilitate and support individuals being able to have that time to relax and really support self-care in these colder months. So then we have, I do want to move this over. Move this over a little bit, as much as I can. There we go. So I have enough space. Okay. So then we have the Chariot under the Hermit. This is a lot of major arcanas right here. So this Hermit time is going to be really important for us. One, for us to be able to move forward, perhaps for us to be able to move forward, a literal move that we need to make. Maybe the environment is not supportive, and that's what this is trying to tell us over here with this Ace of Pentacles. The space that we're in is not the space we need to be in to be able to build this legacy and get where we want to be. We get the 2 of Chalices here. Oh, okay. And maybe helping us to move on from some connections, or helping us move towards connection, helping us find this support, find our creative spark, and our allowing in partnership that supports our endeavors, that brings us to a space of finding peace and empowerment. We get the Hermit 9, we get the Chariot 12, or 7, we get the Magician as the first card, number 1 from the major arcana. And the Magician is saying that if you're looking outside of yourself, the Chariot is trying to move on. It's literally changing your environment. It's moving forward. It's not wanting to be stuck in this space anymore. This is saying partnership. It's saying collaboration. It's saying connection, relationships. And the Magician is saying if you're looking outside of yourself in order to meet these things, everything that you really need, you already have. You already have access to it. It's all within you. You don't have to look outside of yourself. And that's the realization we'll come to during this time and during this space. And the Nine of Swords, I love that for us. And it's in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse. The end of anxiety, the end of fear, the end of overthinking, the stress that was coming from the situation, and our desire to want this situation to work out, and maybe feeling like it wasn't, functioning in the way that we would like for it to. And needing to kind of take some time apart to set ourselves apart in order to be able to get this clarity on what's going on externally to us. Why are we not getting this support? Where do we need to move towards? What's going on with our connections and our relationships? And what's going on with our connection with ourselves? Like, how do we get back in touch with ourselves and finding an end to this overthinking, this anxiety, this fear around being able to move forward and to manifest and to create the life that we'd really like to have. And so now we get this energy of celebration, coming together, Three of Cups, collaboration. So perhaps you do need to change your environment and change some of the people who are showing up in your life because they're not offering you the support that you need and that you deserve. We get the Justice card, and the Justice card is saying, yeah, justice will come. What you put in is what you're going to get out. You will reap what you sow. I'm going to try to move this over as much as I can without knocking it over, because I'm I need more space. Okay. All right, there. That's a little bit better. 10 of Chalices. Look at how many 10s we've gotten. The end of a lot of journeys. This is the end of a closing energy is going to be happening and coming for us in November. We have 10 of Pentacles. We have 10 of Swords. We have 10 of Chalices. The end of a lot of this work, a lot of this questioning, a lot of this cycles are coming to a close in November. We just had the last eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Taurus. And that was all around, what are we willing to let go of, ending cycles, but especially with, on the Taurus axis, we have Taurus in opposition to Scorpio. And so we're having this space where it's we have to look at our values and our morals, the lessons that we learned when Venus was in Leo and doing retrograde in Leo. We were supposed to get really clear about what our values are and what our worth is and what types of relationships and community that we'd like to be in. What does that look like and what does that feel like and what does that mean? And then cutting ties there where it wasn't in alignment. And then now we're coming to this space where it was all right, we're getting these eclipses to further submit this lesson about values and looking at that through a Taurian lens. And Taurus, when it comes to Venus or when it comes to value and worth, yes, it can be literal money. It can be literal investments. It can be your home space and the things that make you feel loved and the things that how we interpret what is beauty and what is peace and what is valuable to us through our senses. So through sight, smell, touch, sound, taste. And that's how Taurus kind of takes in this information and then assigns a value to what it is that it experiences. So when we're feeding into and we're aligning our will through that Aries energy, which we're moving into an Aries Libra eclipse season and North Node and all of that. And that's our will. But before then, we got clear on what our values are and what it is that we wanted to invest that time and that energy into. That's Ace of Pentacles. That's the Magician. That first card, that number one energy is what we're moving towards as North Node is into Aries. But that's all about, again, an access. It's about partnership. It's about community. It's about relationships. It's about our feelings and our emotions and finding peace and justice with Libra energy. So this eclipse really brought into focus what are your values and where have you been underestimating yourself? Where have you been selling yourself short? Where have you been compromising in spaces where you shouldn't have compromised and letting people not support you and still keeping them in your life? Looking outside of yourself for the things that you already have within you. And that's what Taurus is telling you. But it also says with that Scorpio axis, with Mars currently, and Mars and Mercury kind of sitting on top of each other in Scorpio, it's saying, are you brave enough? Are you willing enough? Do you have enough courage to look around you at how you've worked and collaborated and interacted with large scale community values in alignment with your personal values to make sure that you are being shown that you're worthy, that like that they're feeding into you, and that they're saying that you're worthy, that you are in actual collaboration. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to be able to feed yourself and to fill your cup and to make sure that your community is taken care of? And what does that look like for you? And in the sense of not so much like sacrifices and having to give up, but in understanding that that is the time and the energy that is required in order to make this thing come to fruition. Taurus energy is wonderful energy for like looking at the gardener, looking at the nurturer as far as like feeding the earth. And so what is it that you've been feeding the earth? What have you been feeding yourself, and what have you been using in order to take care of yourself and your community? And that's the space that we're kind of in, where it's like doing all that self-reflection, but also allowing yourself to enjoy and nurture. Like if there's unalignment in this space, after you reflect and you find that maybe some of these partnerships, maybe some of the spaces that you're in, like they're not in alignment with yourself, you in that battle of like overthinking, the anxiety about letting go, or about like, why is this happening? Why are you receiving these blockages? And letting that go, releasing that, and finding space to entertain yourself, finding space to spend time in love and enjoyment and fun, and going out to parties, enjoying yourself, harvest season, and enjoying your harvest of the hard work you've put in to build what you have, because justice will come. If you're putting in what you need to be putting in, if you're focusing on yourself like you need to, if you're building your community like you need to, then justice will come. And you don't have to be so concerned with the outcome of what will happen for other people, especially those who did not support you, or those who did not help you out when you needed it, or even for yourself, if you're judging and you're criticizing yourself because you know that you could have done more for others. Justice will come. So be mindful of what it is and where you're putting your time and your energy. And then finding that space of the Ten of Chalices. The Ten of Chalices is happy home. It's this kind of coming together and saying, like, if the environment, I make moves in order to be in these spaces I need to be in order to make the connections I need to make, in order to know that like I am all that I need as far as self-development, but that I'm stronger together with those around me. Finding that Ten of Chalices energy, that family, that happy home, that celebratory energy. And sorry, that was a really long kind of ramble about things. Knight of Wands. We love that. So there's excitement, there's fire, there's movement forward. It's quick movement forward. It's kind of like coming to the end of the journey and getting to that space where it's like, all right, now what's next? Now what's next? And relaxing some. Oh my goodness. You get that excitement back. You get to relax a little. You get to enjoy the world that you've built for yourself. And then we get to that Five of Swords. And that's where it's like, okay, like you're enjoying yourself, but you're still in this space of feeling a little bit of conflict, a little bit of forced expansion in your thought process and how you're thinking about things, how you're approaching things, and where you're putting that energy. We got the Devil in reverse. I like that Devil in reverse because I think that the Taurus eclipse and where we're heading and what's going on as we move into this next cycle is really saying, like, are you giving into, see, love it, love it, love it. Okay. Because this Taurus eclipse is really saying, are you giving in to unhealthy coping mechanisms? Are you giving into being petty? Are you giving into holding grudges? And it's like, no, like this Five of Swords is forcing you to get out of old patterns, especially old thought patterns, old ways of communicating, old ways of dealing with conflict. And it's saying you have to change how it is that you're approaching these things if you don't want to keep ending up here, if you don't want to keep ending up where you don't feel supported, or where you're really stressed out, or where you're thinking about like all the things that are not going the way that you want them to. You have to change. You have to get out of this space and get out of this mental contrived competition with other people that, yes, may feel very realistic in the way that it's playing out, but you have to remove yourself mentally from these spaces and understand that the only person that's here that you're in competition with is yourself. And even then, like, you're your biggest cheerleader. So you're not even in competition with yourself in like a way that's like negative, it's more so of like, hey, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. You're pushing yourself further in a way that's healthy and sustainable, letting go of these negative patterns, these negative competitions, these negative ways of dealing with your feelings of rejection and abandonment that pop up when you don't feel like you're being supported in the way that you need to. Examine like who needs to be in your spaces. And then we get this judgment card, and judgment card is beautiful. Judgment card is all about a rebirth, renewal, getting into a new space, being in a new environment. It's being reborn. It's going through all these things that you've experienced and now being reborn into a new cycle, a new space, a release. We talked about getting all of these tens. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 10 of Chalices. It's time for a rebirth. The Magician, the Hermit, getting that clarity about who you are and what you want. Spending time enjoying what's going on with you. Pushing past those old barriers, those old thought forms, those old belief systems. Pushing past that in order to get to your next step. All right, so I'm going to pull some of these up so that we can get some extra space. So I can pull some final cards. And we'll get the outcome, and then we will be done. So let go a little bit, Pisces. Let go a little bit. All right. All right. Let's get this outcome, and we'll move on from there. And then I'll do I won't do it today, but I will do your love reading. I'll do a friendship reading. We got the Four of Pentacles. Going to be putting in some hard work, looking at that stability. Six of Pentacles and Temperance, balance. So our outcome is all around, like we're still going back to this first card that we got and this Pentacles energy. And we're looking at building that stability. We're looking at what's needed for that stability. We've had to change the way we look at things in order to like find that grounding, find that stability. Then we're looking at our Six of Pentacles, which is saying like, all right, I told y'all, it's this story about like who you are, how your relationship plays out in community. Are you the person who's always overgiving? Are you the person who always has their hands out? Are you the person who can bring some balance to the situation? But as you're focusing on your stability, understand that like that might not be the case for everyone, and you need to have good boundaries and clarity around like what does it look like to be in community, what does it look like to offer support, and how to do that and to receive support in a way that is balanced. Temperance, balancing heart and mind, allowing yourself to be able to be in community, to find that joy, to spend time with others without overgiving to this point where now you're back at number 1 with Pentacles, or you're back at number 5 with Pentacles, and feeling like you're left out in the cold because you give, and you don't receive enough, or you're asking, and you don't feel like you're receiving enough. Like it's all, either side is a lack mentality. Balance that out by understanding what you have to give and understanding what other people have to give and understanding what makes sense to ask for as needed for support, and that sometimes other people just won't have the capacity or the resources or the finances to be able to offer support in the way that you want, and that you're going to have to be creative and clever in order to get around that. Okay. But balancing that out. And if you release the hold that you have on this idea that in order to be successful, to get to that 10 of Pentacles, to get to this 10 of Cups, in order to be successful, in order to move forward, you have to have everyone backing you up, or you're supporting everybody else. Get to this space where you're stabilized and secure within your own finances, within your own world, and then deciding what it is that you have to provide and to share with others, and what it is that makes sense to ask of others. It releases you from that bondage. It releases you from those binds. It's that devil energy in reverse. It releases you from that confinement and allows for you to actually be able to pour in between the cups and to constantly seek out what it is that makes sense, to find that middle ground, to feel more stable and secure emotionally and mentally. So that all of this turmoil that's going on, that's pulling you out of this space where you can focus and on your resources and focus on your projects and focus on those next steps, like it quiets that space. Meditation is going to be super important. Do your meditations, do your mindfulness practices, mindful eating, mindful walking, journaling, breath work, anything that's going to help you regulate your nervous system, especially if you're finding yourself in fight or flight mode. If you've been activated or triggered by some events that are going on, like you have to create the space. The Hermit card is calling you into that, but you have to create the space where you're able to calm down enough where you can figure out how to get back to that balance. If you don't allow yourself the space to do that, you're just going to be constantly reacting to the things that are going on instead of being able to take the time and be mindful and thoughtfully respond to what's happening in a way that's going to allow for you to be able to move forward in the healthiest manner for yourself and for others. All right, so that's it, Pisces. That's your reading for the month. That's your general reading. We'll do love readings, couples, singles, friendship readings. We'll do money readings, business readings. We'll do for the entrepreneurs. We'll do for the folks who work for themselves and for the folks who work for other people. And we'll do I guess a shadow work reading. I don't know. I'll see if I have enough time for that. But yeah, happy end of the month in October, and I will see you all soon. Bye.